today. So bear with me and my hair. Okay, I'm going live on both. So I'm looking at two different screens. I got to figure this out. Yay. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for joining me today, you guys. Yes, hey Katy, it's been a while. I know it's been a while. I just took a little break. It's okay. I actually might stop doing my podcast for a little while too, because I'm trying to write the book that you all need, that actually the 80%ers need, right? Because y'all are following me already because you're a 20%er. Give me a little hands up, double hands if you're a 20%er. Yeah, I'm trying to start my book. I'm not a good sit down book writer, so I go do all the other things I like to do instead. Well, welcome to my office. You guys have seen this in my new podcast. I just shared a picture of what it looks like on the other side. I have basically a therapy couch, which it's not a therapy couch, but it's just pink. It's the only thing pink in my house. And I wanted to share a quick story before we get into today's topic, which is my last two podcasts, romance. Wait, what's a 20%er? Oh my goodness, we have someone who does not know about the fact that my followers are the top 20% of all singles out there. So this is how this rolls. If you are new to following me, you are probably what I call a 20%er. Now you guys have to understand, I've been a matchmaker for what, 10 years? 10 years, okay? And we get date feedback. I put thousands of people on dates, lots of date feedback, and people are just not quality anymore. Like, let's be honest, my 20%ers are what I call cool, meaning you're interesting, you're doing cool stuff in life, you're well-traveled, you're quality, you have high standards, you communicate well, you set your standards, and then you're actually ready for a long-term relationship. Now, that is not everybody in the dating world. How many of you would agree? Like, give me a thumbs up if you agree. Like, not a wave, but I want a thumbs up if you agree that people in the dating world they're just not good. Like, the stories I hear from you guys, I'm just like, no. And I found my man, another 20%er, and I'm happily married. You guys know that there's lots of matchmakers and dating coaches out there, lots of them. I mean, it blows my mind. It's just like, my kid's pediatrician was 400 pounds, and he used to give me advice. And I looked at him one day and I was like, look, bro, you are obese. You can't even breathe while you're sitting here telling me that I should be jabbing my kids. But like, I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to your advice because you don't even listen to your advice. Like, you've got to follow people who are doing it right. And I'm going to be doing a podcast coming up on 5 couples that have done it right, like done it for the long haul. Now, look, a lot of us are divorced. We're kind of in that post-divorce dating stage, which is actually one of the Q&As. Somebody asked me, like, when after I get divorced can I date? We'll be getting to that. But look, there are people who are still married for 40 years. My neighbors are celebrating 40 years on Sunday. They can't come to the barbecue. I'm stoked for them. And I want to be married 25 years to my husband. That's my goal. And I want that for my 20%ers because they're cool, they're quality, and they're ready. The 80%ers, they get the little thumbs down. Am I right? Am I right? I'm right. Like, it might even be a smaller percentage. I feel like it's kind of fading away. Anyways, I want to share this, and then we're going to get into some of the topics today. This right here. Okay, ladies, you're going to love this story. Guys, take a note, because this little poster my husband made when we were broken up. We broke up a year ago, New Year's. So a year ago, I got married last summer, the January before that. You are who your friends are. Totally agree. The 5 people you surround yourself with, they say. So my husband and I broke up quite a few times, and I'll be honest, I usually instigated the breakups. I'm a little dramatic, and I've worked on my drama, so I'm less dramatic now. Just because I have a feeling and emotion doesn't mean it can have me, right? Ladies, I'm talking to you. Just because you have a feeling and emotion doesn't mean you can go bananas. But he was a little bit of a stonewaller. We broke up over that. He didn't spend enough time with his kids. I said, you know what? I never want your kids to not like me. Okay, my hair is driving me insane. Watching myself is not always easy. I never wanted his kids to resent me. So I said, go hang out with your kids and get to know them more and then come back. So there was a couple times for good reasons, not because I didn't like him, but I thought there was some growth that needed to happen. So we had broken up because he wasn't moving forward. I was like, put a ring on it or I'm out. Like, if you know you want to be married, ladies, don't let that drop because some guy's not getting it done. You either let him know or you bye-bye. So I let him know a year and a half ago, and He just said, well, I'm not totally sure yet. And it wasn't that he wasn't sure about me. He just didn't have his ducks in a row, because guys, can I be honest here? Guys like to have their ducks in a row when it comes to getting their queen, right? The king wants his kingdom set so his queen can roll in. Now, let me just tell you, this whole queen mentality on Instagram, I'm going to be doing a podcast on that because it's baloney. You're not a queen until you have a king. So all you single ladies, you're still a lady in waiting. So don't be listening to this. I'm a queen. I deserve this. One of the Q&As today, this woman sounds a little bit like she's a queen. And I'm like, girl, you're not a queen yet. You got to like get a king to run a kingdom together. Anyways, so this poster, my husband's like rolling up right now. I'm going to tell the story. It says Katy, #1 matchmaker and dating coach. And look at, it's like stickers with sparkles and like paint. The man went to Michael's and made this for me. It's pretty impressive. And he picked me up from the airport when we were broken up. And he had that sign in my favorite outfit. Ladies, what is my favorite first date outfit? We all know it. Come on, guys, you can answer this question. I want to know, who knows the perfect first date outfit? You can never go wrong unless it's super hot. Guys will be really hot in this outfit. But what is that outfit that every man should own and wear? Anyway, he picks me up in that, and he has this poster, and I'm mad at him, like, and I had to come back to Dallas because we dated long distance because I was doing a TV segment. So I was like, I'm getting my stuff. And he's like, can I pick you up? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. You know that drama. And I let him, and he had the sign for me. And honestly, I knew he still wanted us to work and move forward. White shirt, blue blazer, slacks, on the slacks. No slacks. No slacks. Dark blue jeans, crisp white shirt, blue blazer. Yes. Slacks are a little too workish. Like, let's, some quality blazer, sport coat, call it what you want. Yeah. So a little pocket square. By the way, guys, you should be having a lighter blue sport coat for warmer weather. I had a client go to Miami, and he brought his dark blue blazer that he wears a lot. And I'm like, that's not Miami appropriate. You need a lighter blue, maybe a thinner fabric for the summer months. Okay. So that was I wanted to show you kind of what I'm looking at. My sign says, be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. Honestly, you guys, I absolutely love you. I was praying for you guys this morning. My followers, I want them to find love, like quality love. I want you guys successful. So let's dive in a little bit to my last 2 podcasts and then your Q&A. And if you have a question, kind of write it in. I'll try to get to that in the end. Question, let's talk with romance. So all of you that are on right now, do you think men are romantic? Are ladies responding to your romance, you guys? Like, what's the most romantic thing that's ever happened to you? I'm so curious. My notes are over there, though. So we're just going to have to go with this. I feel like I have to tell you, for 7 days, I only ate fruits and vegetables. It was very hard. It was not my favorite thing. But I had 0 congestion. Last night, we broke it, and we ate pizza and wine. All congested today. It's either gluten or red wine or both, right? Okay. So romance, how is romance working for you guys? When should romance kind of come into dating, right? If you guys know my 3-3-3 rule, you go 3 dates, 3 weeks, and 3 months with somebody. Now, remember, I am a dating coach. So I'm actually here to help you get a first date and a second date and a third date. So I'm not a relationship expert. I'm not a relationship coach. I mean, I know how to do those well as well, but can you even get a first date? Can you get her to the third date? Can you get him to the third date? And here's my rule on this. First dates should be sit down dinner, get to know each other, relaxed atmosphere, kind of quieter. And I know people are like, well, I like to do other kinds of things. I don't care what you like to do, but I've found, and we have found as a matchmaking company, sit down, look at each other. I like bar. I think bars are great for first dates. I think it's more chill. You've got the bartender. It's kind of a little bit more interactive. But like, in that moment, you shouldn't be super romantic. I mean, you barely kind of know this person. You hopefully did get a phone call vetting them. And you should be touching, guys. Here's the thing too. I've talked about this in flirting, that you don't touch her until she's touched you. That's the groundwork there. Like, I have a client, he would reach over and grab a girl's hand, and I'm like, what are you doing? You've just invaded her personal space. Don't touch her. Like, don't touch a woman until she has touched you first, And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, really. Like, these are why my clients come to me. So here's the deal. So first date, sit down dinner. Second date is fun, axe throwing, top golf. What are some other fun dates you guys have been on? Mini golf, maybe a concert. Those are kind of loud. A concert in the park, a picnic. My client in Miami has e-bikes, so second dates he e-bikes with the girls. Super cute. Lots of fun ideas out there. Third date is romantic. So it might go back to a sit down dinner, maybe that romantic picnic. Try to get that kiss in if you haven't yet. Look, we're all adults here. Touching somebody, it's nobody's got cooties. No one's gonna be like, oh my gosh, I touched a guy. And remember, just because a woman's sexy or she's a turn on to you doesn't mean she gives out free sex. So, ladies, don't be afraid to be kind of that sexy woman in that sense where just because you're beautiful and you own it. And I know I have a girlfriend, she's in corporate, and she's like, Katy, if I wore this outfit to our big convention, I would be considered, it would be too much. But interestingly enough, if you have an overweight woman wear the exact same dress, she's not appearing to be too sexy with it. She struggles with that because then she says when she goes out on dates, she kind of gets into her frumpy work mode and doesn't really dress up feminine. So when I say sexy, it's more of that feminine appeal. Like this shirt is cute. There's nothing sexy about it. It's a little youngish, to be honest. I got my little shorts on with it. The shorts are cute, but I mean, I could wear this on a first date. It's fun. It's work wear. I'm going out with an Instagram follower that I became friends with here. But so third date is your romantic date. That's when you get, like kind of see, is there that spark, not chemistry. And we've talked about this. It's not about chemistry. Guys, I do this visual every time. Chemistry is lighter fluid on a fire. It goes out, it goes on, and then it's all crazy, and then it goes away. It goes away. Okay, this is why when you guys say, oh, the first date, there's no chemistry. I'm like, go on a second date. And first off, chemistry is just emotions. It's lust. There's nothing to do with love about that. My 20 percenters actually want love in a relationship. So you've got to keep going on dates. Hence the 3-date rule. Get 3 dates with somebody. Some of you are just, passing on quality men and quality women because, well, Katy, there's no chemistry. Well, you don't even know each other yet. So remember, the idea is that you want a spark. You want a spark on the first date. Is there something interesting about this person? Is there something, whatever about this person that you could say, you know what, I could kind of do life with them? And you don't have to overthink it. My gosh, some of you are like putting the cart before the horse. I had a client go on a date last week. He kept saying, would you be willing to move? Yeah, do you want to stay home and have babies? And I was like, bro, stop. I already asked her those questions. The only 2 things you should do on a first date, anyone? Number 1 is have fun and be fun. So I always had fun on first dates because I'm fun. I didn't expect the men to be fun, but I brought the fun. I'm fun, right? What do you do if I don't like any one of the dating apps? Okay, we'll talk about where the quality men are and how, there are quality guys on there, but where are the quality men? There's a whole podcast on that. But let me finish this. I'll answer that question in a little bit. So where was I? This is why I can't triple focus here. So we were talking about, guys, help me out here. Help me out. I'm going to take a sip of my water and hopefully somebody can get me back on my stream here. Hold on. Sparkling water with orange in it. Guys, we were talking about romance, third date. I don't know. First dates, but what was I talking about on first dates? Oh, are you fun? Is rule number 1. And number 2, are you being attentive? That's it. That is it. You guys just need to focus on those things. Don't put the cart before the horse. All right, bring the fun. Yes, Alyssa, my girl Alyssa, she's in Texas and we just went little boxing. She's fun. She's creative. So bring the fun. And ladies, be the best first date he's ever had. Guys, be the man with the plan. I say this all the time. These are like the Katyisms, dating with Katyisms. Okay, so that was a little bit on be fun and attentive. That's it. That's if you can knock those 2 out of the park, you can probably get a second date. All right, so let's talk about, so that's a little bit on romance. Hopefully for you guys, that was a great podcast. Go listen to it. The second podcast I just did this week, flirting. Ladies, are you complimenting men? Can I ask the ladies, like, what is it you compliment men on? What have you noticed on dates that you're like, oh, he dressed nice or he was really polite and you actually verbally complimented him? Because I have so many guys that are like, Katy, She never compliments me. And it's a bummer to them. They're like, they get really sad about it. They really want, if they're really putting in the work, they want women to give them a compliment. I mean, ladies, you like a compliment. Here's my thing, guys, compliment a woman in the first 5 minutes. And don't just say she looks nice. Okay. I've even taught my boys this. So if you have sons, teach them. This is a win with women. Number one, don't say, oh, you look nice. Okay. Looking nice is what I look like when I go to church. Tell them exactly why they look good. Tell them what looks good about them. Say, wow, your hair is stunning in person. My hair's not my best thing, but wow, your eyes are even prettier than your pictures. Oh my gosh, those shoes are fabulous. You're looking fine, girl. Whatever it is, find something about her beauty in the first 5 minutes. Second thing, at the end of the date, compliment her on her character. This is a win, you guys. For the men who are listening, compliment her twice, at least twice. I mean, everybody likes a compliment. And ladies, what are you complimenting these guys on? And no, nobody is coming in. Oh, I see my other girl. How are you doing? I know you got in a relationship. Fill me in on that. Ladies, what are you complimenting these guys on? Because honestly, all I hear is that women are not complimenting men anymore. And these guys are trying. So, and even if they're not, then tell them to follow Dating with Katy. So make sure you're both complimenting. And here's why. This is why we practice these things on a first date, because the day that you're ready and you meet the person who you super dig, and you're like, oh my gosh, I definitely want a second date with this guy. I want a second date with this girl. If you've been practicing these, it's just like a job interview, right? You're practicing your skill set. When the right person comes, you're going to knock it out of the park. Okay. It's a skill set that you have to practice, you have to learn. And when it becomes more easygoing, then you're going to win at dating, and you're going to be the best first date he's ever had. And guys, you're going to be the man with a plan. Okay, so let's get to the Q&A. I've got quite a few questions here, and I'll start with the one, where are all the quality men at? This also goes with, I'm 56 years old. So these two questions are kind of the same. And I'm going to address two different topics from these two questions. So where are all the quality men at? I know, us ladies are like, I keep myself well. This woman says, I'm a 56-year-old. I look much younger. I'm going to address that in a minute. I'm an HNWI. Can somebody tell me what that is? Because I really don't care. I hate everybody sharing their stuff like that. Okay. HNWI. I don't know what that means. And Habiba Muhammad, you need to go, bro. Like, I don't like peeps like this. This is gross. We're just going to block you. Bye-bye. All right. So tell me what's an HNWI, and I will keep talking about this. Now, when somebody says, because HNWI, she says, where can I meet comparable men? She's 56. I look much younger. Okay. So your lawyer, it looks like, is having trouble finding a high net worth individual. Thank you. How did I not know that? Okay. So ladies, let me just tell you something right here. No man cares that you are an HNWI. That's how unimportant that acronym is to me. Okay. As a matchmaker, if you put that in your profile, I could care less. No man is like, oh, unless he is a sugar baby and wants to be your sugar baby. And girl, if that's fine, no man cares, because a high net worth man has got you. He wants just a feminine woman. He wants a woman that he adores. He doesn't need your money. So why do you think that is what a man is looking for? Now, guys that are on here, if you are an HNWI, or if you work really hard and you're good financially, like, are you looking, is it a must that she has to be your financial equal? I've never had a client ever say, Katy, I make, this much money. Like, I have a new client. He's in his 30s. He works for the NFL. He makes over 300,000 a year, and he's looking for a wife. He never once said, Katy, I need her to make as much as me. He's like, I don't care if she works. I can take care of us. I want to take care of us. I want her to raise our family, but I'm good either way. But let me tell you, I have this girl. She's very cute. She's in her 30s. She's like, well, I make 350,000. So he has to make 350,000. And I want a house here, and I want this, and I want that. And that girl, good luck. Good. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to even match them, because she's so particular like that. And yes, ladies, you do want your financial equal, but you must understand he's not looking for you to be his financial equal. Yes. Never dated a guy who cared about the money I made. The only thing men care about is that you have a passion for something. Okay. That's it. So I don't care if you're 56, I don't care if you're 26 and you're high net worth. It's actually harder for you to find a man. Ladies, it's harder for you. The other thing is when she says, I look much younger. Okay. Here's the deal. Send me your pictures and I'll tell you exactly how old you look. I look at photos we have thousands of photos in our database, thousands and thousands. The new ones that come in, especially if you're my people, I look and I think, how old is that person? So here's two things. Men are also saying this to you, well, Katy, but I'm older, but I look and feel good. I don't care what you say about that. I can tell you how old you look. I mean, there's 100%, not 100%, but there's a lot of men who say, but I look good. No, you don't. You look old. Okay. So for the guys who are not taking good care of themselves, go get some skin work done. Go get some Botox. Get your little gobbler fixed. You look old. I will tell you that, and I will tell you what you need to go do. Your clothes are out of date. They're baggy. Like, bro, you look old. I don't care how you might feel young, and that's a win, but you look old. And for the ladies who are like, well, I look much younger. Actually, you don't look younger. You just look good for your age. Okay, can I just say that again? You don't look younger. You look like your age. And that is, hold on, this is I'll be there at 1:15. Perfect. That's my lunch date. You look your age. And I can look at my database, and here's the irony. There's 30-year-old women now who look like 40-year-olds because they're getting so much Botox and filler. They look like they're a 40-year-old who's trying to look younger. So now they're a 30-year-old who's looking older because of what they're doing to their face. And then a lot of you ladies think that just because my face looks young, and yes, I do all that stuff to my face looks good, da da da. Guess what? If you don't have a fit body, if you're a little chubby down here, you don't look young. You don't look young. Young people that look young, it's because they're fit, their bodies look young, their skin looks nice. And here's the deal is I look like I'm in my 40s. That's it. I don't look young. So stop saying that. You look good for your age. And I have a girlfriend and I love her to death. And she said to me one day, she's like, Katy, I can get any man I want. No, you can't. Who told you this? She's like, my girlfriend said that. This is silly. You cannot go get any man you want. You can only get the men who want you back. And she says, I've never heard that distinction, looking good for your age versus looking younger. That's it. I mean, I know sometimes you guys are like, wow, Katy's harsh, but no, I've seen this woman. She sent me pictures of herself. She looks like a good looking 56-year-old woman. That's it. That's all I'm going to say to you. You look great for your age. The hard thing is more of us women are taking care of this. So we look good and we're not aging as fast technically, but these are truth bombs. Girl, I'm always throwing the truth bombs. Like I want to be like a Dr. Laura Schlesinger. Do you guys remember Dr. Laura? Dr. Laura meets Dr. Ruth meets I've been binging on Joyce Myers. You guys know Joyce Myers? She's like Christian, love her. She's a truth bomber. So I'm like Joyce Myers meets Dr. Ruth and Dr. Laura. There's dating with Katy right there. That trifecta of truth. Oh, I like that trifecta of truth. So I love you guys enough to tell you these things. So a lot of you are like putting age, going lower on your ages, some of these ladies. And I'm like, girl, there's no younger guy. There's no younger guy. If you're 56 and she's thinking she's going to date a 50-year-old, and this is why women are bananas. This is why we don't take female clients anymore. No 50-year-old guy is going to date you unless you are hot. You better be 56, freaking rockin' body. He doesn't care if you're a high net worth. So stop it. Just stop it. And that's the truth about that. Now let's move to the next part of that question. I think you guys have understood, like, send me your pictures. Yes. Okay. Diva over 50 looks fantastic for her age. Okay. You don't look 35, babe. You know that. I don't look 35. I look like a beautiful, mature woman that I am. And you look fantastic. You are so fit. She's so healthy. You guys should follow her because it's like inspo. Don't tell me, oh, well, I got menopause and I got fat. Look, no, I'm coming into my perimenopause, whatever. Like Shailene Johnson doesn't say that. I'm at the gym telling my muscles what they're going to look like. Okay. So you ladies, I can't stress this enough. If you are fit, okay, if you are fit, like men love a good body. It's just, that's it. They don't care what purse you carry. Don't care what purse you're carrying. As a matter of fact, all these fancy purses, they're like, oh boy, someone took care of her. Now I got to do it. Like at this stage, even if you took care of you, like sometimes these guys are turned off by all of that stuff. They want to know that you honor this and you take good care of it. That's it. That's what men are looking for. So I don't care what you think about yourself. Now, where are these men? Let's answer that question. I have said this before. I have a whole podcast. Where are all the good men at? Go listen to that. I think it's like podcast 58. As a matter of fact, if you go to the YouTube version, it has thousands of views from men and a bunch of cranky men underneath. I have hundreds of comments from cranky men, which is ironic because the podcast is for women, right? But like so many cranky men, they're just 80 percenters. They're 80 percenters. Okay. So where are these guys at? Well, they're at clubs, right? They are like my husband's part of the Cowboys Club. They're at golfing. These guys are golfing. Kim, I'm so curious. Do you meet a lot of guys golfing? Because I know my girl Kim golfs. Everyone's playing pickleball. These men are at conferences. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate the encouragement on this. Wealthy men are at conferences. They're working with matchmakers. Get in matchmaker databases, all of them. Google them for your city. Christian matchmaking, Dallas matchmaking. Get in my database, but make sure you have great photos. I'm talking good. And then make sure you have a great bio as well. And I want full body. If you can't show me a full body shot, girl, I'm not going to call you. Like that tells me something. Where else are all these guys? They're at conferences, they're at nice resorts during the week. They might be at a nice hotel for a conference. They could be in the bar area. Somebody brought this up. Why aren't men wearing their rings? Because they're douchebags. I mean, because they're not happy in their marriages, because they're cheating on their wives. I mean, I don't know. Men don't wear their rings. Women don't wear their rings. I mean, they're an 80 percenter. And this is why I give you the 20 and the 80 percenters, because then you guys can have a perspective of going, no surprise. Some of you get all worked up. I had a client this week. She's a single mom. She's in Denver area. This guy totally was a douchebag to her. And she's like, she's still festering over it. I go, let it go. If you're going to take 10 dates, 8 of them are going to be lame, because that's kind of how the numbers roll. And 2 of them will be great. So the lame ones, you just got to throw out like water off a duck's back. You just got to let it roll off. Okay. When you know that going into dating, when you know that 80% of people are going to ghost me, then you're better about it. You're not going to like take it personally. Like, okay, they're exactly what Katy told me was going to happen. Happened. No surprise. Where else are all these good guys at? They're at church. My church has a group called Mighty Men. Woo! Jim, are you going to Mighty Men tonight? Yes, Jim, I see you. You're on. You should be at Mighty Men tonight. I'm going to be serving there. I'm telling you, all my single ladies should be serving at Mighty Men nights. Mighty Men in the morning at 7 a.m. And I'll tell you, the kid who leads it, he's, I don't know, maybe 30. He's hot. Okay. He's in great shape. These Mighty Men do these workout things. Like, it's a group of men from 14 to 88, and they're all loving Jesus, hands up in the air, just like it's amazing, right? At least he showed her up front, right? Wasn't worthy, saved her time. Yes, that's another good part of the perspective. So yeah, go to church, go to, I mean, if you want a quality character kind of guy, you're going to want to find him in church. You're going to want to find him, maybe if you're not a churchgoer, at a nonprofit, or ask your friends. If you have quality friends, ask them, hey, do you know anybody? I know my girl Alyssa says, she joined, or no, I talked to this other girl. She joined, she went golfing with a bunch of guys, and they'll say, oh, I have single friends, but they're douchebags. Like, men are very honest about other men. So ask women, like, hey, do you know any great single guys? Get in my database. There's some answers for you guys there. Okay, let's move it on. How do you know when you're ready for a relationship after divorce? Great question. So number one, let me address, when are you technically divorced? So this is my perspective. I would take a client who is actually going through the divorce process, because I believe once papers have been served, you're divorced. Now, I know that has backfired on people who've dated people like that, because they actually got back. You got to suss out the situation. I know for me, it took 2 years to be divorced. 2 years. And in some instances, people are already kind of divorced before they even serve papers. You know what I mean? Like, they've already been checked out. And I believe the court system and the attorneys are just milking us for our money. They're just milking the divorce people, like, ooh, so they'll extend it and make it so long. Drives me insane. I mean, how many of you had to pay like some money for your divorces? Ridiculous. So that's number one on that. Like, I do believe that. Some people are not okay with that. They're like, I would never date someone going through divorce. That's fine. Okay, why are my bracelets doing this? I have to tell you, my bracelet, this one, my husband bought it for me, fell off last week at Home Goods. He was so gracious about it. This is what he's a godly man. He's gracious, full of grace towards me. I was like, babe, I lost the big bracelet, which I had just lost a purse he bought me, his credit card, and some gold hoop earrings. Like, what's going on? He was gracious. He didn't get mad at me. He didn't say, well, I bought you that. Why would you lose it? But then I called Home Goods and they had it. So we want to be gracious and marry people that are gracious. Okay. Next part, how do you know when you're ready? That's different for everybody. Some people are relationship people. I've seen people kind of jump in. I mean, have you done the work? The work. Everyone says that. Oh, Katy, I've done the work. Okay, what does that mean? Well, go listen to my podcast too. I call it my 4 foundations of dating. When you, I would say, are good with that, then that's when you're ready to date. So go listen to podcast 2 of the Dating with Katy podcast. You have 4 foundations, and I think you'll really like that. All right, next one. Okay, this is from, I don't know if this is a man or woman. It's a woman. She says, very successful guy with a little time in a relationship. Okay, so he's dating with limitations. That's also a podcast. Do I make myself available the times he has open? Like, it could be 3 hours on a Sunday due to work travel for the week. Okay, that's like 3 hours on a Sunday. Okay, what are you, like the 9 to 12 girl? Or are you like the, okay. And travel for the week. And then she says, I think that goes sorry. Okay. No. I mean, if you're fine with that, it sounds like it's just fun. I mean, what are you looking for? I can't tell you what you're looking for. If he's great, then you might have to give him some space to build his company, build his career. Maybe he really does work that much. My husband works a lot. But here's what we did when we dated long distance. We saw each other every 10 days and we did scheduling. We pre-scheduled out. But here's the deal. If his effort is minimal, you only give minimal back. Ladies, I say this all the time. Men put in the effort, you mirror that. So I have a client right now. He's putting a lot of effort in this one woman. She's fantastic, but she is not mirroring it back. She's just not there. Her life's a little messy. She's a single mom. Her finances are always kind of a mess, but she's great. And he would love to have her as a girlfriend, and he can financially take care of her and all that, but she's just not there. She's just not there. So I'm like, you know what? Let's move on. Like, if she's not going to mirror back your effort, then give her less effort. So that's all I can say to that. How long should widowers wait before dating? It's been 6 years for me. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear, Mike. Widowers, that is up to you. When your heart's really ready. I have a friend, he lost his wife to cancer in her early 40s. It took him years. He just wasn't ready to do it again. He's actually now dating another widower where she lost her husband to cancer, and they're both in their 40s. So it's a really good fit. 6 years is plenty of years, I would say. I don't, I think 6 years is what, 365 days times 6 years. It's a lot of days that you've had a chance to really work on yourself. And, hopefully if you're like, okay, I believe being with someone is a better choice. I mean, you might like being single a little bit, or like, you're not lonely, but if you're a little bit lonely, then yeah, but you've done your work. Again, do the work. Go to episode 2 of the podcast. All right, let's move on. Next question. I'm a 50s high-powered CEO. Oh, wait. She's asking me. Some of you guys have some bad, I know my grammar is not great sometimes. 50-year-old high-powered CEO client. Does he want a challenge or easy, smooth relationship? Okay. I get clients who, yes, are CEOs. And first off, the question, does he want a challenge? Every day of his life is a challenge. Does he want to walk in and try to figure out if he likes you or you like him? No. This is why I say, ladies, if you like him, make it clear. Drop the hanky. And then he knows he has to pick it up. This is what I'm telling you. No, my clients don't want a girl who's challenging. They don't want a boss babe. They don't want to have to feel like they're competing against another woman. They want a woman who is, I just said this in my last podcast, light and breezy. My girlfriend says this. We say this on our little show. I'm on an NFL little alumni segment. And he wants a woman who's joyful. And let me just take a minute to explain joyful. And this is what people like about me. I got joy. And joy comes from a relationship with God, hands down. Okay. And there's happiness. Happiness comes and goes. Like you can be happy, you can be sad, but joy, joy. You can be joyful. You can be joyful when you're sad, actually, because you trust in a God who doesn't change. And that's what brings you joy. Joy doesn't change. And I can look, my life looks amazing now, but I can tell you, I was crying this morning because of some things in my past that could bring me shame, but they don't because God He threw them as far as the east is from the west. And I can have joy in that. So I can bring that joy to my man, to his kids, to my kids, joy. Men are looking for, women are looking for joyful people. So, you're happy when it goes your way and then you're angry when it doesn't, ladies. Men are like guys in their 50s, CEOs, they were probably already divorced. They don't want another woman who is crazy on her emotions. Y'all need to listen to some Joyce Meyer. She'll set you straight. Joyce Myers has some really great stuff. Go check her out. So no, he's not looking for a challenge. He's looking for a woman who can roll in, who is grateful, who's appreciative, who wants to like be a part of his life too, support him, be his biggest cheerleader. Like what happened to these dynamics, you guys? Like instead of you saying, what does he bring for me? You should be saying, what can I do for him? That is what relationships are about. Like no matter what happens, what can I do for them? Like how can I build them? Joyce is so good, isn't she? I love Joyce. She's hilarious. Okay. So then her next part, she says, I'm so easygoing with that type because they are commanding and good. And I wonder if I'm too easy, too low maintenance. I can't, okay, if they're commanding and if I'm too low maintenance. I'm trying to figure that question out. You can be a pushover. Like being a pushover is not a good thing. Like if you're not communicating your needs and desires, now it's also in the tone of how you communicate, ladies. And I speak to you, ladies, and men, you too, as well. My husband's in the business world, so his tone is usually quite like this, like almost all the time, right? And so sometimes I need him to actually have a tone. I'll be like, hey, do you want to go drive the fun car? He'll be like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, that wasn't, I need like, I call it the enthusiastic yes. Like I want him to be on the same page with me. Like, yeah, let's go do that. So for him, because he's in that business world, he's learned to really keep his tone easy because that works. It's very smart in business, right? You want to keep it like this. Well, in relationships, if we're always anti-tonal, nobody can read you, right? Like I have had people, and you probably gone on dates with people where it's hard to read them. Like I have a client, he's very flat. I call that flat. And you kind of have to learn to bring it up a little bit. Like I told him, you got to smile on dates. Like he and I went, we had some wine together. And by the way, my husband knows all of this. He meets them. I show him pictures of us together. Like my husband has no problem with it because we've really built in ways where we're really good with it. They meet my husband. All my clients meet them as much as they can. So can you have friends of the opposite sex? Yes, I have friends and clients of the opposite sex. I have lunch and dinner with. So that's a little mini topic there. Yes, I gotta like focus again here. What we're talking about because they're commanding. Yeah, you've got to just learn how to say what you want in a good tone. This is case in point. My client, he's a coaching client. He's in Florida. He was supposed to do electric bikes with someone he had a great date with last Saturday night. She brought it. Like she dressed super cute. They went to the ballet. I have to tell you, my client's outfit was off though. I was like, what is this outfit? Why did you not tell me before you wore this? Like, you look like you're golfing, not the ballet. And he's like, you're right. I do. I said, correct. Like you have better outfits than this. Anyway, she looked cute. They took some pictures. They had a great first date. She hugged him, a big hug goodbye. And then he has yet to hear from her. They planned for Saturday. He has done some texts, some very like, hey, let's jump on a call. When are you free this week to like, so I can plan out Saturday? It's Friday and she has not reported back. Not cool. I even told him, I said, give me her phone number. I'm gonna call her. She'll give me a little dating with Katy phone call. I'll be like, hi. Anyways, I'm so like, I want to cover my clients. I don't like 80%ers. But the point was, so he's like, well, maybe I'll just ignore her because I've sent her some texts already. I said, no, you're not going to ignore her and just let it swing out of the way. This is what you're going to say. If I don't hear from you by Friday night, I'll just assume it's off. Thanks so much. Yeah, you're going to set a standard. You're going to show her that you have standards. You're going to tell these 80%ers how this rolls. This is how it rolls with me. Sorry, this hair, I'm like, do I fluff it? Do I brush it? Mm. You are going to communicate the fact that I've not heard, hey, I have not heard from you. It's Friday afternoon. If I don't hear from you by tonight, I'm going to assume it's canceled. Boom. You would do that in business. So there's some business skills that are really practical in dating as well. And here's why, because you're doing the right thing and it's going to bless you back eventually. Dating karma, it'll bless you back though. And you're also having a skill set now that's going to say, I don't put up with that. This is how I respond to it. And hopefully somebody in there will learn a little bitty lesson of how to like, this is how 20 percenters roll. This is how we roll. Okay. We're in a different element. You are obviously not one of me. That's it. So, all right, here's two more questions. And these two are together, so I'm going to read them both. At what point, and this is from Aguilera, at what point do you bring up that you're not looking for something casual? Okay. And then somebody else also asked me a very similar question. I was on a third date with a guy and he tells me he wants something casual, but I don't. And then he ghosted me. Okay, no surprise, because he's an 80 percenter. At least one, he communicated what he wanted, which you could have found out way before. But sometimes you don't know what you want with that person. Like maybe you meet them and you're like, this would be fun for a little bit, which is fine. So I'll just go casual. But maybe you meet someone, you're like, oh, I was thinking this would be casual, but she's amazing, right? I mean, I had a client go out, another client in Miami with this woman, and he goes, Katy, I was blown away by her in person. I literally came into this date thinking, okay, it'll be a date. Katy's putting me on. Her bio wasn't great. Her photos were good. He goes, but I met her and she's amazing. So sometimes you don't know until you get into that 3D moment and then you have a couple dates and then you kind of know, is this someone I really want long term with? And I understand if you put like looking for LTR. How many of you put that? What do you guys think of that? Is it a good idea to put looking for LTR? I think it's a good idea because you're going to weed out the 80 percenters. 80 percenters don't want an LTR. They're not capable of having an LTR. They don't have the money for it. They don't have the time for it. Like that guy who can only give her 3 hours on a Sunday, he's really not looking for an LTR. So, but if she's looking for something casual, that works. Okay. So if you were on a third date with a guy who wants casual, did you not ask him before? Like, I think on a first date, kind of mention it. Like, yeah, I know this is crazy, but I really want something long term. Like you could say that, right? And then a guy's like, "Oh, okay." Like he'll know. He'll know. And here's the deal. These 80 percenters are still going to try to get in your pants. If you're really cute, I mean, it's so crazy. When I was on my dating apps, I'm a strong conservative. I have strong like Christian values. I vote certain ways. And sure enough, the liberal guys always were like, "Oh yeah, you're hot. I want to take you out." And I'm like, did you not read my bio? Like, there's nothing we have in common. So, ladies, yes, the 80 percenters are still going to try. They don't care. They just want to get in your pants. Like, hello, they don't have any core values. They don't have any standards. So, of course, he's going to take you on 3 dates, tell you, and see if he can see what else he can get out of you. I know guys like that. It's gross. So, why are you surprised by that? We got to find men with core values, right? We got to find men. I have quite a few, and I chat with them in my DMs, like great core value guys. So, don't be surprised. This is your equal. You will always also attract the lesser. Okay. They will come because they want what you are. You're fit, you're fun, you're feminine. And he's a douchebag, but he still wants a piece of that. So, ladies, standards list. Have you done your standards list? Like, if he doesn't say he wants it on the first date, then I'm not going to go out with a guy again. If he doesn't say, yeah, I'm looking for LTR too, then don't go out with him again. Don't go on a date number 2. Just say, hey, I got one question I ask on a first date. Don't inundate a man. And the question is this: are you really looking for a long-term relationship? Like, I'm not here to put you on the spot, but is that something you really want right now? And I think most men can actually be pretty honest. Like, and by the way, you could have done all that if you had done it on your first phone call. Like, you all should be getting on a phone call. You all should be checking in. Get it? I love that. Did you not read my bio? I've literally said the same thing to guys. Like, did you? And here's me. Like, I'll be a little feisty in the apps. I was feisty. I would kind of be like, yeah, did you not read my bio? Heck to the no. Like, I kind of like, again, it's that 20 percenter in me going, yeah, you're an 80 percenter. Sorry. Or just say you're an 80 percenter, go Google it. And maybe I'll somehow put it on the web, like 80 percenters. um, I think it's just you're going to find guys and women who are just looking for short-term casual. And maybe that's your season in life. I know when I first got divorced, I didn't know what I wanted. I thought I wanted to get married and I dated. You got listen to this podcast. It's the old guy, the rich guy, and the nice guy. I dated all these three guys, kind of hoping I get married again because I was really scared about being single. I didn't have a huge income. My ex-husband gave me $300 a month. That's it. That's it. And it was hard. So I was kind of desperate, like thinking, oh, I just want to get married again, which I did, but I got on my own 2 feet, and none of those worked out, which I'm glad because I'm so happy now with who I'm with, and I'm grateful for waiting for God's timing. Yes, anything about the conservative dating called Right Stuff. Yes, I've seen it. The guy who runs it is, I think, from Orange County, Newport Beach. Beautifully conservative there, beautiful area, and I think you should try it. I mean, it seems like a little bit younger crowd, but put it in your bio. And then somebody asked, "Is it okay to say you don't know if you want an LTR?" Look, you don't say. Well, here's the truth. You kind of do know if you want an LTR. You just don't know if you want it with them, right? You're either in a place where you're looking for something of more content and quality, or you're still just happy dating around. It just takes a minute to figure it out. That's why you go on 3 dates with somebody. Case in point, my one of the girls who runs our company, Cinqe.com, Cinque.com, go check it out. She dated a guy for 3 years. They were in their early 30s. Like, hello, are we getting married? What's happening? This is what she's saying to him. They break up because he was not moving forward. Which, ladies in your 30s, do not waste your time. Tell him what you want. If he doesn't want it, you're out. And actually, I would say by 10 months, if he doesn't say anything, get out. Girls put in years with these guys, and then what happens is, so then he dated somebody else right after breaking up with her, and in 6 months he got engaged to that girl. So it's just he didn't want to marry her. And that's really the truth to it. So that's why you should take 3 dates with someone. 3 dates, 3 weeks, and 3 months. By 3 months, you should know if you're really in that. I have a podcast in the early ones, like podcast 7, the 3 stages of dating. And I explain 3 weeks or 3 dates, 3 weeks, 3 months, and how that process can really go well if you do it right, and how each person should be thinking, is this what I want? A lot of people will date according to, oh my gosh, does this person like me back? No, do you like them? Like, really look at your standards list. Are they treating you how you want to be treated? Not your preference list. I don't care if he has hair. I don't care if he has a house on the beach. Go look at my last little post. I dated 5 guys with houses on the beach. Yuck. Okay. Like, they were douchebags. And so I have a pool now, which I'd much rather be living in this house with a pool with a fabulous husband than living on a beach with some jerky guy. And really, the Bible talks about that. It says, the Bible says, don't live. It'd be better to live in an attic than with a cranky woman, with an argumentative woman. So remember, live in a beautiful house with an argumentative woman, or go live in an attic and be happy by yourself. Yes, people will choose that. Smart people, 20%ers, will choose that. Okay, you guys, I've got 10 more minutes. Are there any other questions? Look at my alarms going off. All right, 10 more questions, 10 more minutes. Also, if you live in Houston, I will be coming to Houston on Tuesday night. I'm going to do a quick post after this. I will be at Hotel Jaja, and I will be doing a meet and greet. So anybody in Houston, join me in Houston. Okay, I think I answered all of my Q&As. Anything else? I mean, you guys, get in the database, get some great photos. Game changer. My buddy Jim, who was on earlier, we did photos together. Oh, you know what? I'm glad you said this real fast. So you just said Montana mountain man. Ooh, it's like a rip. Are you like a rip? We want to know. So never settle for less than you deserve. And I have a podcast, and it's Are You Settling? Here's the problem with what I've seen is that everyone's expectations are bananas. Women are way higher than men's. Men are usually a little bit more gracious. Like, they're not looking for a perfect body in a girl. They're not looking, all these HNWIs. Women are like, I want perfection in a man. Ain't nobody perfect. And you are not perfect. And grace for everybody. But there is a huge mindset of entitlement that is stopping everyone from finding quality people. So again, when I see things like I'm 56 years old, but I look much younger, I'm in HNWI, that is like a sense of entitlement. Therefore, I deserve. That's really where can I meet comparable men? I get it. People do deserve comparable men, but some of you are overthinking how fabulous you are. And I said this earlier, it's like my girlfriend saying, "I can get any man I want." No, you can't. Okay, you're a little chubby, she's very pretty for her age, but she looks her age, right? She looks great for her age. And I remember my friends like, she asked my son, "How old do I look?" And my son was like, "Oh boy." And he literally in his mind thought of a number, and the number was her exact age. And he knew better to not say that. He didn't know how old she was, but he went way lower, right? Like, "Oh, you look early 40s." Like he knew she didn't. She looked 50. It's okay. It's okay to look 50. Be 50. Be 50 and pretty. How about that? But don't overthink what you deserve. And this I see a lot. So just be really mindful of this whole never settle for less than you deserve. Yes, correct. But how about we look for character in people? We look for standards. We look for values. I deserve a man that has this much money. I read a bio, not a bio, but I read in someone's bio the other day. She's like, "Well, I love the beach, so I would love to have a man with a house on the beach." I'm thinking, girl, you no. Like, look at my story. Like, what you want is a great man that you can go get a house together on the beach, that you can work for at it together. So be very careful of what you're thinking you deserve. If you're a hard worker, you deserve a hard worker, and hard workers usually make a lot of money. So and look, here's the deal. I'm a hard worker. I don't make nearly as much money as my husband, but I'm a hard worker. And hard workers deserve hard workers, right? Like, he loves my passion. He loves what I do. He loves the availability I have, but he's not looking that I'm his equal too in the numbers. But you attract what you are. So go be awesome, I always say, and go be the content that you're looking to find. And that's all you can really do. And so I think that's about it, guys. Anything else you want to talk about? I'm here. I'm live. I did my hair and makeup for you, like, legit. um, but yeah, get in the database if you have questions about that. Let me just explain our process real fast. Some of you are in there already, fantastic, and you're like, "Katy, you haven't called." Well, couple reasons for that. I'm going to tell you number one, if you have not great photos and not a great bio, or you haven't filled that out completely, that's why. You have to understand that I am looking for women that look fabulous for my clients. Like, there's never a client that says, "Katy, I want like a chubby, okay looking woman." Like, no, no client says that ever. They want a well-kept, fit, fun, and feminine woman. So if that is you, women, go have a friend take some photos. It's getting sunnier. I put my tanning cream on today. I'm already feeling better about myself. And don't ever send me those group shots. I can't send that to a client. If you're in a group shot, you could have had someone take a picture of just you. Put in the effort. I'm all big on effort. So I need you to put in the effort to get in the database. Guys, get in the database if you want to work with me. I have a coaching program. And then I also have where I pretend I'm you online, so you don't have to do all that. And then I also have, guys, I have my courses. They're like $69 and under. 14 Days to Dating Success is all my best tips. 3 minutes a day, a little video series. I got 7 Steps to Sexy for you ladies. It's a 6-week course, once a week. Just watch a little video series. I tell you how to dress. I tell you what shoes men like. Like, some of you need to chuck some of your clothes, man. They're just dating you. Like, although you say you look much younger, you might be wearing an old lady outfit. Like I told you, this is kind of an older lady outfit. It's sophisticated and it's nice, but this isn't young and fun. I have young and fun outfits too. Guys, I have Confidence 101 for you. I also have Style Yourself Confident for you. Like, some of you need some help dressing and you don't have a sister, you don't have a stylist. Like, I am here for you. I already did all this for you. So go check out my courses at datingwithkaty.com. Listen to these podcasts, send them to a friend, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on whatever it is. And I will be doing more of these. And yeah, send me topics. You guys know that I love addressing the dating stuff, first, second, third dates. Let's get you on them and let's get you, confident, successful, and to have some fun dating. All right. Well, my stomach is growling. I am headed out. If you missed Yeah, this will be posted in my reels. You can always see it in the reels, and it should be posted in my feed as well. All right, you guys, have a great Friday, and I hope some of you are going on dates. Let me know how that goes. Ciao.